Hello, everybody. This is Keanu Huskies Esports here for our week 2 of NECC activation against. We have one match today. We got Butler University. My name is Janice. I'll be taking play-by-play, and I'm joined here by Maple to take over color. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. I think we're gonna have a banger of a match.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this squad 7-3. After a little bit, and we did have one match get forfeited tonight. But you look at last Tuesday against Dallas Baptist University, 3-0. This team of rookies should be really exciting going into these 3 maps we got today.
Yeah, absolutely. They're on a bit of a steam right now. They're on a bit of a roll. I think this is going to be a pretty competitive and hopefully pretty entertaining match.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I love Overwatch, man. This is my first time casting Overwatch technically, and it's always just fun to get some really fast-paced games all the way through, and I really enjoyed like Overwatch 2, the transition into like the 5v5 and the faster gameplay and everything. It's been so much fun to watch, especially at the professional level, and getting to cast a little bit in the collegiate level. I'm really excited to see what these players, these student athletes have in them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the Overwatch, especially Overwatch 2, and it's has always historically been quite a fast a game, and because of that, it can be very dependent on everyone's individual skill, their coordination, their ability to work as a team, and their pop-off potential. And because of that, it just creates this amazing harmony, and it's just the reason I love this game. So I hope we get to see just some of the amazing talent that you mentioned that they have in these players. In the collegiate has been an exciting scene for quite a while, and I'm kind of excited to get into this.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to be taking off to Lijiang Tower for our first control map of the night. This will be a 3-map block, so we will be playing all 3 maps. And to start off Lijiang Tower, we're going to be starting here in the control center. Going to be fun.
Center,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I was just going to mention the control center does offer quite a few opportunities to play like lots of variations of comps here. Interestingly, I'm gonna be excited to see if we're gonna see much of the Zarya that's been being played in higher scrims recently. And a lot of the meta right now seems to be around this Orisa. It's a bit slower, pokier, right? But I'd love to see some teams start switching it up. Maybe bring a Junker Queen in there, start making it brawlier. I want to see what these teams have in store.
You can see Butler opting on that Bastion. It has been a very powerful fit. I know that there was just a hotfix for the Bastion nerfs. But still, it looks like Butler University over on the right side of the screen going to go for that Bastion Queen with a Lucio and Symmetra. And meanwhile, Huskies Gonna go with the Junkrat Symmetra. A ton of spam until even the Sojourn. Yeah, the Sojourn going to be going with the Alari. And as we go into this first fight, it's going to be this fight for the top control server room. Bastion already activated, but it's going to be just poking back and forth as the Huskies do have to back up a little bit. Magu trying to go for some poke, but it's going to be forced back by the Symmetra from Countryside. Coda in the back trying to heal everything up, but it's going to be Butler University holding control of the first point as the healing turret goes down. Control point opens up. Magu falls just under 100 points, able to stay alive barely, but it's being taken down so far. Healer's able to heal him with that Bastion Alari combination. It's going to be Butler University taking first control of the point with no deaths so far in the entire server.
Yeah, no one's died yet. It's just been a stalemate. It's just been shooting back and forth. You know, it's a bit harder to push in with this Orisa comp, but even so, it's been even.
Clover gets put out of the position, but as the amplification matrix comes up, it's going to be that Symmetra wall that's going to come up and allows Monarch over on Butler University to take down 2 players of Keanu Huskies. And yep, that's going to be everyone having to back out as the first 2 kills unfortunately fall on the side of the Huskies. And now here comes Butler pushing forward. Clover falls, Purity falls, and now it's a full reset right now.
Yeah, right now it's just a bit of a stagger for that. It's a bit of cleanup. The Huskies are just having to back up. Out comes the Bastion ult there. It's going to take them out. It's going to elongate the stagger even more. They really have to get a regroup here, or they're going to let more time bleed off the clock.
The good thing is that Butler did use a lot of ultimate. That's 3 ultimates used in that fight. Only the Lucio beat going to be in for the side of the Bulldogs, but it's going to be Huskies activating that Riptire, trying to find anything.
Oh my god!
Finds a 2K. Clover able to find 2, finds a 3rd. Monarch falls, and that's going to be the point. Basically flipped over as NECC grabs one just for good measure. And there goes B3. Magu cleans it up, and then the Keanu Huskies will get onto the board. As Butler's only to get just under 70%.
That is such a big fight win. You know, they only invest 1 ultimate to get that win, essentially. They have a few more lined up here, and they're in a great position to even our scores a little bit.
Yeah, Magu gets out almost out of position, but Clover's there to take down Country. Symmetra falls, and it's going to be the call for re-aggression. Magu able to stay alive just for a moment, but B3 with the axe swing finds the Orisa. It's going to be a 4v4, but it's going to be Coda using that ultimate, trying to find anything. Yes, able to find the Junker Queen from this high ground position. Absolutely huge, as it's now going to lead to a numbers advantage for the side of the Huskies. And things slow down to a halt.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, that's what you do with the Orisa comp. You know, once you are able to essentially secure and hold this space, you can just deny them from getting in. You get a pick, they have to back out. You can just get more of this valuable time.
Magu has not been punished. Like, not been unable to die. It's Purity's amplification matrix here on this other high ground. Oh no, NECC gets booped off and Coda falls onto the other side, caught by the Junker Queen. Bastion all invest and Purity's going to fall. So there's an ultimate for an ultimate. Country uses the symbol, and it's up to Clover, running for the hills as 75% is now counting up for the Butler University.
It's not the end of the world, you know. You got a good amount of percentage there, but you probably only have 1 more fight if you lose this, and it might be the end of this point. You know, you're running into around to an ult advantage here, so you're gonna have to make some wonders with this tire.
Riptire has to come up huge. You can see Butler running away, and it's gonna get caught out. No value for that Riptire other than some extra space taken, and it's now Huskies getting onto the board, but Coda falls. There is a huge healer out, but it's gonna be a trade. Monarch able to find, goes down for the side of Butler, but it's gonna be Country cleaning things up. Huskies down to the last 2 members, make it 1, and as overtime wick falls, Huskies will lose the first point here on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, that was a pretty even fight for the most part, but you notice that there's just the sheer amount of damage that's coming from that Junker Queen comp with the sim and everything stacked on is just making it so hard for Magu to try and hold those angles there. You know, we saw some amazing work from Clover, who just was able to get some awesome damage off just on that Junkrat, just spamming them down in that amazing tire, but it just was not quite enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moving on to
no, go ahead.
Gardens here. Thank you. Moving on to Gardens here, you were seeing a swap. It's going to be matching up with this Junker Queen comp. You know, this is going to be a lot faster, and it's going to allow you to have even more burst potential.
Butler University going to stick onto the same composition, TPing right onto the point, but it's going to be Keanu Huskies going for a complete comp change, opting to mirror that Junker Queen, but Monarch able to take out the tank. Mago falls and Koda does as well. The Genji, the Junker Queen switch, plus a double change, complete change of supports. Not really finding too much value as NECC is able to grab one, but Purity falls late into that fight. And so it's going to be Butler University taking first control onto Garden.
Yeah, that was actually pretty impressive there. We saw some even trades across, but you know, they ended up just going the way of the Butlers here. Understandably.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
They have the Bastion there, so it's just so much pressure on that front line. That's a big pick. They're going to be able to rush in now.
Yeah, Monarch caught out of position. That's going to be the go button for the side of the Huskies. They're going to try and pull out that Junker Queen, and yes, they are able to do it finally. Immortality. Suzu is very valuable as Clover does fall, so one player down for the Huskies. But Keanu starting to push ahead, trying to get this point flipped all the way through. No tank on the side of Butler University as NECC finds a huge pick. Koda does fall. Monarch gets back into the fight, and NECC falls super low, and that's going to be an even trade. Mago trying to find anything. Now this is just down to this. Oh my god.
Mago here. He needs to come up big here, but all the time to Kiriko.
Kiriko falls, and that's going to just be the Junker Queen for the side of the Huskies. 50% for Butler University, and it's not going to look like the Huskies can get it. It's going to be a reset, so they all fall back. So despite some good picks, and despite some good space taken, they just weren't able to clean things up fast enough.
Yeah, another fight win for Butler. Like, this could end up being pretty bad here. We're going to need, you know, coming some ults up on the board, we're going to need to see some value out of these, or it's going to become quite dire indeed.
All 5 ultimates used to it, and there it goes. Kitsune Rush going to be invested first and foremost. A sim wall to counter, just to try and create some space. Activated Shout and Beat going to be invested, so plenty of healing for the side of Keanu as they press Q, trying to get all the kills, and so much damage being done as Koda's able to finally find the first kill. Bastion all going to be invested, not going to find much kills, but it's going to be all the kills going in favor of the Huskies. Finally, kills going in favor, and they're going to be able to hopefully be able to clean up this point. Actually, be free. Over on the side of Butler, going to invest that ultimate.
They still have the Junker Queen alive. You're going to have to deal with her. Lucia's back.
Able to stay alive? No, unable to do so. And how does Butler stay alive?
He stays alive. He stays alive. He stays alive on the point. His team gets back, but they're trading.
They are trading, but Clover falls. Purity falls. It's just down to this loser trying to stay alive in a 1v2. The Bastion's so low. Monarch can't die at all, and it's going to be Butler University taking Lijiang Tower here in our first minute of the series.
Yeah. That second point was not as close. I think we saw some more confidence from Butler near the end there, especially just by taking a lot of that space. They had a Bastion for most of that, and he was just denying so much space. And that was some kind of good exceptional play, but it just seems like, you know, Butler just ended up with more damage, more pressure, and ended up just taking the win out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to be going to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We got 2 more maps here in this series, and hopefully Huskies can come back into that series. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Thanks for not going anywhere. We got Escort here, and Junkertown will be the choice of the map for the second map of this series against Butler University. What are we looking at for composition-wise, Maple?
Poke, probably. This has always been a poke map since the beginning of Overwatch, except for a brief time when everyone played goats. But mostly
Pirate
poke.
Ship.
Pirate ship? That's true. That's
there
true.
we go. There we go with the Orisa shield.
I hope we don't play pirate ship, though. That would be a terrible idea. Who knows? Maybe we'll see some sort of London Spitfire-esque thing where they just run Ryan Brawl and run over their opponents for no good reason. But it looks like they're just going to have a poke here.
Sigma's on both sides, it looks like. Baptiste definitely for the side of Butler University, but for the Huskies, gonna be sticking out with that Alari again, with a Zen for Purity, trying to get some extra damage down, trying to outburst the other team.
I'm gonna be super interested to see how this Widow duel goes. We have these two Widows that could make a huge impact if they start popping off.
Oh, absolutely. And then on the other side, you got the Hanzo versus that Sojourn, so a lot more, two different styles of poke. But yeah, that Widow duel is everything. As Clover takes a big shot to the body, going to have to be healed up by that Zen, by Purity. Jump shot misses for the country. And yeah, it's just gonna be poking back and forth. Whoever can get the best of this aim duels. That's really gonna be the questions as Magoo falls pretty low. Has to force to use.
Yeah, they're gonna have to give up a little bit of ground here. Oh, gets the pick though. Corner.
Yeah, Nick's able to get a huge pick. First kill goes in favor of Keanu. And going for a little bit more, Nyx trying to see if they can find anything else as he forces the rest of Butler to push into the rest of the Huskies. So it's going to be a little bit of brawl stalemate right here underneath the bridge as Nyx has to reposition, trying to find anything, but Clover's going to be fine. Intrepid Cash. Alari gone for the side of the Bulldogs, so it's going to be a ton of healing gone, but that Baptiste, lots of trains, still able to pump so much healing into Beatfree. Look at the ultimates. Still nothing really on the other side. Purity might be the first one to get it with that Transcendence, but Magoo's going to get really aggressive and it forces Clover to fall. A headshot from the opposing Widow. It's going to be a 4v5. Butler trying to push ahead and see what they can get out of it. The Discord's huge.
Be careful. Ooh,
Discord's huge. Beatfree melts because of that. A big headshot coming out from Nyx evens the numbers out, and now Butler University has to back up with just over 2 minutes remaining in their time back here on the first point.
Yeah, that's the advantage of playing the Zen here. The Zen can just put a Discord orb on the tank and he will just melt. It does so much damage, especially when you're on the tank. You just focus him down. He has to at least give up space. He just can't stand there much longer.
Magoo is so aggressive right now. He does have that Gravitic Flux if they want to use it. Country Falls, yeah, they get really aggressive. They target the Widow. Country Falls. They're a great shot coming out from Clover, and yeah.
He's the dragon!
Oh! Monarch completely falls, and that's going to force him switch. Country, if you can look at the top right of your screen, onto the Sombra, trying to see if they can get anything, trying to get some backline pressure, but look at 4 ultimates still in favor of the Huskies. It was just that Infrasight using in the last fight, and if a minute 30 seconds remaining, Butler University's got to go.
Yeah, this is the advantage of their play style that Magoo's playing. Playing with
Annihilation
fate there.
Gonna be used. Gonna try and find anything. Yes, we'll be able to find it. Coda finds Purity and Nyx both fall on the other side, so it's gonna be a 3v3, and Coda is trying to find any of the shots. Yes, able to do so. Country Falls on fire for the side of the Huskies with under a minute to go now. Huskies looking to get a near full hold here on Junkertown.
Yeah, the Huskies are playing this aggressive style of Poke Sigma, and it's really working. It's forced them to swap off of the Widow here and just essentially give it space. Oh, but he gets killed.
The hack. Monarch able to get that cleaning, but it's really Country able to heal things out, and then Intrepid Cash, the Butler University investing in that Annihilation, forced to pop Transcendence, which is going to counter 2 ultimates at once, so great value from the side of Purity, but they are down their tank. Going to be this overclock that has to find a huge hit. Clover is able to find one, tries to go for another, finding anything. Not enough, but it is going to be able to bring down the health bars of Butler University down. 20 seconds remaining, and Coda finds a second kill. EMP going to invest it late into this fight as Clover does fall. Intrepid Cash able to find that kill, but it's only down to 2 members for the side of Butler University, and Purity is going to find Intrepid Cash. 5 seconds remaining. Who can touch in Butler University? Absolutely no one. Keanu Huskies able to hold things down. Probably?
They get the touch, but this is gonna be a hard one to win. They do get the Zen though.
Yeah,
But they're already down.
Invested, and Clovers are coming back on the Tracer, finding so much damage. It's going to be this Soldier going down. Monarch falls, and it's just gonna be the 2 members remaining for.
But they can't finish them off. They can't finish them off. They're still alive.
Clover. It's gonna be up to Magu. Can he find anything? Saber force the transfer case. Going to be no Annihilation. The Annihilation finds nothing. Coda falls, and the Annihilation is wasted, and I jinxed them.
Oh, of course. We hit him with it.
Curse.
The caster curse strikes again.
Keanu unable to clean things up, and it's going to force all of the Huskies to run away. Point given up.
Despite that, they had a very strong hold of first point there. Oof!
That was nasty.
What a shot.
That was nasty.
You know, they forced them onto this ball comp, which is honestly kind of inconvenient. It's not the best for this second point where you have to get to the high ground. If you can't set up your dives properly, we could just see a full hold.
Or you can see Beefree just go in the spawn and take down NECC.
Or you could go in the spawn. That works too, yeah.
They did try to drive the Soldier, so that seems like this ball comp is trying to like just pick people out of position, and the mines are going to be invested. Beefree's been on it long enough, so that's going to be a good amount of space invested. But Clover's trying to get body shot after body shot. Coda able to finally find the ball. And Purity able to clean another pick up. Finds the Lucio onto the other side. And it's going to be, hopefully, Huskies, knock on wood, able to clean up this fight with just a minute 20 left to go.
Oh, waiting for that one.
Yeah, Clover's playing out of his mind. Some good shots already.
It was, the thing about this ball comp, though, is you really have to rely on finding targets that are easy to dive and not in a position where they can get help. Because of the fact that they're running, this poke comp, it has quite a lot of survivability as long as they stay within helping range of each other. They're going to have to try and isolate their targets and just find them and pick them off.
EMP gonna be available for Butler, but yeah, Monarch falls, and that's gonna be the Soldier, a huge source of consistent damage. For the side of the Butler are gonna be gone, and it's gonna force the 4 remaining members to do anything they can to try and keep anything alive, but no, gonna be the Huskies getting 2 more picks. Absolutely huge as the ball and the Baptiste fall. And with 20 seconds remaining, it's going to be a full reset, and we're in last fight territory. Plenty of ultimates for the Huskies.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Just on these off angles.
Use anything. And
they have all the ultimates. This is set up for them to win. It's going to take quite a bit.
It's going to take that EMP to come up huge, and his Monarch falls nearly low, but NECC able to stay alive. All right, here we go. Plenty of ultimates being pressed, but it's going to be Coda finding the first pick. EMP does not get much value, and there it is. All the ultimates, all the kills going in favor of Keanu Huskies. And as the overtime wick burns, it's going to be halfway through for Butler Universities as we switch sides.
It's a classic platinum strategy. Press all the Q buttons and you win. Yeah, that was a pretty impressive hold. They just managed to get past the first point there, but honestly, it was pretty rock solid other than that. Right? Coda and Clover stand out to me because they've both been consistently getting first picks a lot of these fights and just slowing down the play with these just amazing plays. Coda particularly on this Alaria. Alaria is a super big poke and just pick potential character, so much damage potential, and he's really utilizing that, right? And taking advantage of it.
Add that on top of this end, that entire composition, poke is the name of the game, and yeah, they're able to finally get some really good picks, and unlike with Lijiang Tower, where they were able to get 1 pick but weren't able to capitalize and follow through with the remaining picks, the Zenyatta really has allowed them on that defense to really find picks and then focus targets really well. As we look onto the offense, it's going to be looking Magu perhaps going onto the ball. Maybe? That would be weird.
You see some Magu ball?
Magu ball?
Magu ball?
Yeah. Let's see, it might actually be Impurity going on the Kiriko. So, gonna be a little bit of a comp switch, but you look on the defense, Bastion is back in the hands of Monarch, who was absolutely huge on Lijiang Tower. So that's something the Huskies gotta be aware of and gotta be really cautious of as they're playing on this very open map that has some great sightlines for that Bastion to just rain hell.
This is interesting. Ooh, a big roll through though. I want to see how they end up playing this with the ball.
Yeah, and a Tracer. It's a Tracer, so they're trying to dive people. So who's the most diveable character on this composition? Because every single hero over on Butler University has a way of escaping other than that Bastion.
Really gonna have to utilize these off angles well if they want to get past this, because it's gonna be tough with what they're running here.
Yep, they're
just taking so much damage.
But also forcing out a ton of space. Like, they're already, like, getting closer to the bridge, and they're forcing so many players to look every single which way, and it allows NECC to get the first pick. That's the point of the composition. Allow NECC to finally get into a good position. However, it is straight. Magoo does fall, so no tank for the side of the Huskies. And Coda falls, so that's going to be looking most likely a reset. But the cart does get right underneath the bridge in just over a minute's time. But NECC, Ilari's down. That's a huge pick. That's a huge pick.
They could press the go button here if they want to. They're waiting for the ball to come back. They have an advantage here.
Yeah, Pulse Bombs in hand the Clover could be huge, finding a pick, and they're already back on the Sojourn Country, opting to get off that Mage just to get back a little bit faster. But it's going to be Purity falling as lots of trains does fall. So NECC, 3 huge picks coming onto this fight as Coda tries to find another pick. Perhaps falls so low, but Country's able to stay alive just barely.
It gets finished off.
Close. Yeah, Clover able to finally finish things off. The Pulse Bomb not able to find much, but it's going to be so much damage for this Tracer, trying to build up to another Pulse Bomb. But on the hands of Butler University, so many ultimates able to do anything, but going to be huge picks for Coda.
Coda!
Annihilation goes up huge, and it's going to be a late Gravitic Flux from B-Free that gets absolutely nothing. Keanu Huskies coming up huge, able to clear things out.
Coda again having monumental impact. Barrage comes in, gets out the Widow, but I don't think they're touching this. I think this is theirs.
Absolutely not. 4 minutes to get halfway through, a little bit over halfway through point B. Keanu Huskies absolutely rolling through with this ball composition.
So we see a proper comp switch from the Butlers. They're going back to the ball comp, trying to sort of match this. But you're playing this with the BAP, which basically lets you have a free dive target. You have to be really careful if you're the backline of the Butlers.
Absolutely, and Clover wins out the trace for 1v1 with some help from NECC is on the Widowmaker. Monarch isn't able to, it falls, and Clover finds a second one. It is an absolute demolition from the side of the Huskies. 3 kills within the span of 30 seconds, and they are hunting for more. Out for blood, it's Country falls, and it's just one member of Butler remaining, and they know they have to reset. Intrepid Cash falls very quickly. All 3 members of the Huskies getting on point, trying to see what they get. They have just under 10 meters to go. Who's going to be able to touch? B-Free will be able to, but Clover finds a huge Pulse Bomb stick onto Monarch. Falls, and the ball on the other side falls. B-Free finds nothing. Kitsune rush just for the cherry on top as the Keanu Huskies win Junkertown.
Wow, what a turnaround from that first map. That was very one-sided, I'd like to think. Like, they got to the second point, but even so, it wasn't enough. Coda in particular, this guy was on fire the entire time. He was getting pick after pick after pick. It was incredible. They just went straight through them.
So much damage done between the entire team all the way through. You can look at Coda, you can look at NECC, you can look at Clover, all the way through. Excellent work from the Keanu Huskies to even up this series. We have one more map for you guys. We are going to push after this short break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome to map 3. Once again, this is NECC activation week 2 for Keanu Huskies. We are on our final map of the night here on Esperanza after a 1-1 series where we lost Lijiang Tower and was able to take Junker Queen in dominating fashion. As we go into Esperanza, what are we looking for the side of the Huskies specifically, man?
Well, for someone to just keep up that momentum, that momentum they built later in that, well, actually kind of early into the Junkertown series has just carried them through it. And if they can carry that onto this map, I think we could see another really dominant performance. They seemed a lot more comfortable on the non Orisa comps. So I think it'd be a wise decision to just try that again, but we're just gonna have to see here. Looks like they might be going out on the Junker Queen.
Yep. Big ultimates for this composition for Keanu. Like, you're looking at the Dragon Blade, you're looking at the Overclock, you're looking at the Rampage, and that Nano Boost always, of course. And it's going to be on the other side. If you look at Butler University, they're playing that original composition they played on Lijiang Tower, where it's going to be the Bastion and the Symmetra with that Baptiste Lucio that they've been playing a ton of. But if I'm correct, lots of Trains has been playing the Baptiste this entire series. It's going to be Intrepid picking that up now.
Yeah, absolutely. So we see this sort of mismatch in comp there. We have the Bastion and the Sim, so they're maybe going for a Sim TP, which gets destroyed.
Yep, absolutely. It's going to be a pseudo dive, and it's going to be a counter dive for the side of the Huskies. B-Free falls absolutely instantly, and NECC is able to find 2. Clover goes in for a little bit of the leftovers as Intrepid Cash falls. And that's going to be the Huskies, despite losing the first 1 meter, are able to take it right back and get a clean fight win.
Yeah, absolutely, right? This comp that the Huskies are running is so much more mobile than the one of Butler's. It allows them to just get into different angles. And if Butler can't TP, they can't get their Bastion set up, it might just spell a disaster for these team fights.
Yeah, I think the mobility is a really big... Oh my god, what an anti-nade! What a big splash coming out from Purity, and that's going to result in Monarch following. The main source of damage for the Bulldogs going to be falling, and even though Magoo does get a little bit out of position, NECC is able to trade it right back. The Lucio falls, and the bot might be going the other way just for the moment, but Country falls, and NECC is playing absolutely out of their mind right now. Huskies keeping the momentum from the first point as they are looking to try and get the bot back. Has to run a little bit of ring around the Rosie, but it's going to be a really late stagger on B-Free. I'm not sure if this was a great decision considering the meterage difference.
Yeah, he gets a bit more meter, but that's, 4 meters. You're going to have a later spawn. They might even get super close to this checkpoint, or might even get it.
Mabel, look at the ultimates.
Oh my goodness, there is a very big ultimate difference here.
4 ultimates for the side of the Huskies as they are about to reach the checkpoint. It looks like the Bulldogs barely are going to be able to get a touch from behind, but again, 4 ultimates and a big anti-nade. It's going to be Intrepid forced to use the Immortality Field super early, and Maywall trying to cut things off, but will be the checkpoint.
Looking for a Nano Blade.
Nano Blade going to be infested, trying to find anything, but it's going to be actually NECC finding the first pill. Clover finds 2 more. Lucio and May fall. It's just going to be down to 2 members of the Bulldogs remaining. And the checkpoint already taken. That bot is going to keep moving as the Huskies win another fight.
Slice and dice. This momentum that these guys have, it's just contagious. It just keeps going. They still have more ultimates in the tank that was just invested that Nano Blade.
Yep, Beat's still available for Coda. Magoo is going to be coming up on their Rampage. Jeffrey's still 20% away from it. But if you look over on the side of Butler University, they do have the implication window that they did not invest in the last fight, and a counter beat from lots of Trains to be able to do anything. But DPS ultimates are still a bits away, so no burst damage. Another huge nade, and it's going to be the Rampage to follow up on that. Immortality Field forced out early, and so much damage done on to Butler University. It's going to be a beat. Gonna be used. It's gonna be lots of Trains fall as Magoo going ahead, pushing forward. Lucios will be traded out, so it's going to be a 4v4. No Lucios on either side once again. And Ultimate's going to be slightly in favor of the Bulldogs, and it's going to be vested. There's the Rampage from B-Free, able to find Clover with that, but it's going to be Magoo trying to get re-aggressed, trying to find Country, but is unable to do so, and it's going to be the Huskies giving up the bot at 96 meters with 6 minutes remaining still.
The Butlers finally get the fight win and start pushing it back. They have time. There's still 6 minutes left, but that is a long distance to go. we're gonna you see a lot of these fights. We're seeing the Huskies play with such a high tempo and momentum that they're just often outpacing.
Ooh,
the
Intrepid
Butlers.
Cash able to find Clover, but it's going to be some trades back for Monarch and Butler University able to get most of these kills out. It's going to be a very low Intrepid dash, and the Nano's going to be invested in Magoo as that Baptiste, opposing Baptiste falls, and that's going to allow Magoo to go hyper aggressive. Already 30% away, 25% away from another Rampage, and they are just pressing W, finding these staggers, finding these kills. And it's going to be Butler University's Bulldogs having to run away to stall as long as they can, but what more can they do? They are fighting a losing cause until Country with that tack visor able to find Diana. So just Coda 4 heals, and it's going to be Huskies having to back up just a little bit. So perhaps a little overzealous, but it does bleed off another minute on the clock.
Yeah, the supports getting picked off early there was quite a predicament for them. It just ended up being not enough sustain on the point, and they just ended up falling there. Despite that, again, it's going to be a pretty fast re-engage to get back here. They're not going to get too much meterage before they get on here, most likely.
Nope, so we'll be able to stop just like halfway, just right before the checkpoint. And if you look at the ultimates, 3 ultimates going to be available for the Huskies, so they should be in favor, but they have to go fast. Lots of trains. Just over 10% away from that B, which could be huge, but the Dragon Blade is going to be invested early, so is Immortality Field, but it's going to be slicing and dicing. Once again, Clover able to find the Baptiste, finds the Lucio, goes for a third, but it's going to be Nyx and Coda cleaning things up, taking those kills into a team kill for the Huskies, and once again, the bot's going to the left.
Most of these fights, you know, I think almost all of them really have been going the way of the Huskies purely.
They're going Clover's way, man.
Yeah, they're going Clover's way, to be honest. But it's also like giving Magoo just so much space to do things. He just goes in and then gets value. He just kills things. It's a machine.
Yeah, absolutely. A big nade coming from Purity again. Feels like every time we look at the opponent at the beginning of a fight, it's going purple all over the place. Next, Overclock going to be invested, trying to chunk these opposing heroes down. An Amplification Matrix invested for Intrepid. It's going to force the Huskies to back up a little bit. Magoo in this corner with the Rampage. Could be huge if they opt to use it, but it's instead playing the corner, playing safe. Again, they have the lead by...
Oh, it goes a Rampage! It's huge!
Yeah, but the beat's going to be there to trade out. So Train's able to counter that just for a little bit, but it's going to be Coda with the late beat. Going to keep the Huskies out for so much longer as the Nano Boost still in the back pocket for Purity, and B-Free falls. Unable to keep the Junker Queen alive, the Butler University has to back out, and the bot is starting to get more push with 3 minutes remaining. Huskies are in full control. They are in the driver's seat, and lots of trains getting staggered out like that. It's just a cherry on top.
Coda getting that second beat is so important there. It just gives them the sustain to be able to push through, and even though they had a beat on them, just get those kills anyway.
Nanoblade is so close. Clover 6% of the way. Just maybe another right click. And yeah, there's the blade. Going to be invested. Tack fire going to be invested. It's going to be canceled out. Country gets nothing out of it. The 2 kill for Clover to close out the map. It is just up to B-Free. Able to get 2, but how much more can they do? A few more meters. 1 more can be done. Miss Sleep Dart. It's going to be just staggers. Train able to barely touch. Monarch able to barely touch. But it's the focus fire is too good. Keanu. Huskies, despite losing Lijiang Tower, should be cleaning things up, and they will take the series 2-0. Maybe. I hope.
Well, we'll see. It's still going.
I jinx them. They do have spawn advantage, so I might have gotten overzealous. Did I jinx them?
They're still here. The fight's still going. The fight's still going.
Coda does have beat, and it's gonna be able to. Oh my God, Purity every single time. I don't think they've missed a single nade at this rate. Next, able to find 1, finds 2, and it's going to be 2 remembers. And there it is. Keanu Huskies taking the series for real this time, 2-1. Only losing down on Lijiang Tower, and man, the maps they won, they looked absolutely dominant.
Absolutely, everyone on the team just going full cylinders, just everyone showing up and everyone having so much value. I think every one of these players you could consider just having an enormous impact into contributing into this win.
Absolutely. I mean, you see Clover and Nyx absolutely coming up huge on the DPS, especially on Speranza. Coda, I kept mentioning their name with those Ana nades that were able to just win team fights before they even started. Purity was so solid, especially on Lijiang Tower, to keep them competitive in that map. And Magoo on Junkertown, again, once again, just that ball over on their attack, just rolled through Butler Bulldogs. And man, what a series and what a showing from the Huskies.
Yeah, absolutely. That was that was, the first map started a little even, but that quickly just shifted into their side.
Absolutely, and that will be it for the night. There will not be another second match, so that'll be it for us tonight here on the stream. And really like to thank you guys for coming out thank you guys for coming out to support the Huskies. My name is Janice. This is Maple. Maple, anything you want to say before we head out?
Uh, no, I'm just interested to see where these guys go next, and gotta love Overwatch.
Oh, couldn't say it better myself. Well, on behalf of us and Teddy, our producer, thank you guys for coming out. And we will see you for the next stream. Have a great night, guys.